Good afternoon, Sam Tolbert, Sound of Joy. Put on my microphone. Sam Tolbert, Sound of Joy Music Services. How is everyone doing? Those who will be joining us live when you get the notification, and those who will be seeing the restream. Changing things up here. Got some new tricks, as they say, that I'm pulling out of my bag in looking to give, in my interpretation, the best musician instruction I possibly can. Got a new toy here. I'm going to debut some of it here with you. Let me just do a formal welcome, an informal welcome, I should say. Let me just position it correctly. There we go. I gotta work on my penmanship. Welcome to everyone. Yes, this is a new toy that I am going to be introducing in some future lessons coming up in the month of June as I become more comfortable with it. Being able to have a translucent board. So if I want to work on chords live, you might say, what's going on in my head at that time? I can actually write it out and give a technique to how I would do chords. So for today's stream, we're going to be doing God Is. I have got a few songs that I still have to learn, but when I get one that is very familiar to me, that song gets pushed up to the front. So we're going to be working on in the key of B flat. It's a James Cleveland classic. So as I am waiting on for more viewers to come in, I'll keep playing with this toy, and maybe I'll even play a little bit. So I think those who will be watching will see the welcome. Yes, I can clean this up just as quickly as I can mess it up. So what I will do is, let's do this. And I will do that. I believe we are live. Yes, we are. So let me give my thoughts and where I'm going to go with the demo. We will look at the melody line, bass chords, bass line. That's very important. Right all over me. And let's put this down here. 3-part harmony. I'm having a ball. All right, let's see what we can, while we're waiting on more to enter and get the notification. This is what I'm going to be looking at. B flat is just my chair. yes, I'm having a fun while I'm waiting on others to come in. So that'll be what's going on in my head, what I want to be able to cover. Let's clean up some of this. And as I was playing, I was thinking of other turns in the song I'm going to do. So let's just keep this on our docket. God is key, B flat, chord inversions, running out of space, right? Yeah, not much space there. Let's see, progressions, bass movement, never to fear, because I can do this. Progressions, bass improvement. Yeah, I got to work on my penmanship, and I will. And let's see, what else do I want to cover in the song? We'll leave the melody. Well, yeah, we'll leave out the melody line. We can just do chords. Oh, choir voicing, because that's a very important chord technique. All right, so that's what we're going to cover. For those that are seeing the replay, I am playing with a new technique which I got from watching YouTube, how to use my iPad as a translucent board where I can pen in my ideas, and eventually I will be pulling in some other techniques. I don't like the fact that my handwriting looks as bad as it does. So you still see me doing a lot of this. I had tremendous penmanship. Inversion. Okay, enough of that. Who joined? Hey, Tristone, how you doing? Just don't mind me. I'm having fun. All right, so let's get after it, as they say. God is. I don't have this on my viewer page. Too much stuff on it. So B flat is where the chord, rather the song is located. This is a viewer request. So everyone that has been around since the 70s has heard the song God Is. It is one of the staple standard songs that is like you would have an actual jazz standard. This is an also standard song in the gospel music community. Now it could be, like I said, B flat, add to, because I like the way that sounds. Now some might call this the 5 chord with a 7 bass, a 4 chord with a 6 bass. But that's how they did gospel music back then. They didn't follow rules. They wrote as they felt, especially the songwriters. They didn't have someone to slap their wrist musically if they weren't following the rules. Somebody might say you should do like this. God is. That is the number system. 1, 4, 5, 6, 5, 1. But I love to go, what did I hear in the album when I first learned the song? In the 1. So that's your chord. your 5 chord over a G flat, walk it back up. And we'll give you this chord, 2, 7, 3, 6. We'll cover that again. Here it is. This is the God is, God is. I said I'm gonna keep out the melody, it's important. My joy in the time of sorrow. I should not be trying to do the melody. Then your passing tones, 7, 3. It's gonna wind up on the 6. So the diminished chord, right? Eventually wind up on the 6. We just did we're doing a covering. We covered a couple of videos on passing tones. Passing tones help give you a guide path to your desired chord change to support the melody. There it is. Now you've got your 5, 4. No, sorry, 2. Was your jazz chord. Your 3 to your 6. Now you're going to do now you could do a straight 2 on the, major 2 on the C. I like to put the 7th on there. And now you're in a 4 chord. With a 5 bass, passing tone, repeats. This is for the viewer who asked for this. There's not much to the song. The same 7, 3, 6. Now you're going to straight 4. And we're going to give you this chord. 3 to a 6. Or a 1, but our G minor is the chord. Again, this is gospel. Give you straight 7th on that 5 on the F. Now, if you want to do the drop down, it's D flat, B major, D flat, B major, and resolve to the B flat. So that is the opening part of the song right there. Believe it or not, the entire song really can be so basic. The musicians are free to pretty much float around the song because of the timing. Who joined us? Hey, welcome, Frederick. So now, once you've got past that part of the song, and this is for the viewer that had requested God is, what you want to be doing is, as the singing is going on, there's a timing aspect of it. So now you got space. God is, look at all the space. Passing chord. All the space. Passing tones. C. Walk it up. That's all that is if you listen to the actual recording. Gonna walk it up. jazz chord. Now, God is the joy, and think of root chords. God is the joy and the strength of my life. The same pattern. He moves all pain, misery and strife. The bottom. To the 4 E flat. He promised to keep me, never to leave me. To the 2 bass, same chord, never ever falls. Now watch this, short of his word. And it just repeats after that. So God is the joy and the strength of my life in timing. He moves all pain, misery and strife. He promised to keep me, never to leave me. He's never ever comes short of his word. Scales. I've got to, and right back to the fast and pray. Now you can stay in the narrow way. But you want to do that. Keep my life clean every day. Now you can do a 2-5-1 here. I want to go with him when he comes back. Passing, I've come too far, and I'll never turn back. Now again, choir voicing is very important because you want to be in sync with what they're doing. Promise to keep me, never to leave me. He's never ever come short of his word. Those are the choir voicing, but your music can be in sync. Who joined? In sync with the choir voicing and as a guide for you. I've got to fast and pray, because you can always go higher. Keep my life. Change the bass every day. 2, 5, 1 to go with it. When he comes back, I've come too far and I'll never turn back. Now to the top, God is B flat chord. God is the same pattern. It changes to with a flat 7. D7. No, G7. There it is. God is my. This is the correct chord. And all. One more time. God is the joy. God is the joy and the strength of my life. He moves all pain, misery. 2, 5, 1. He promised to keep me, never to leave me. He's never ever comes short of his word. I've got to fast and pray, stay in the narrow way. Same pattern. Keep my life clean every day. Important. 2, 5. Promise to. I want to go with him when he comes back. Passing tone. And let's up my words. And back. Straight B flat chord. Now a nice full B flat chord. Drop it down to the F, but your bass has got to be here on the A. Right down chromatically. And G7, put that seventh in there. This is the gospel sound. God is my all. This is important. And all. I think there's a turnaround. Minus 6. God is my all. And end on this chord. Sub-Zero. Welcome, Sub-Zero. All right, so that is our viewer request for God is key of B flat. I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. Let's just go back to what I scribbled here. Let me reset my iPad because it does go into sleep mode. There we go. So let's make sure I covered everything. Yes, I'm having a ball doing this. You will see future lessons done like this. Well, okay. So we did. God is. Bring that down a little bit. Okay. We covered the chords. Okay. Covered the progressions. Turnarounds. Choir voicing. What did I leave out? Chords, progressions, turnaround, choir voicing. Hey, how you doing, Sunny D? Can I play congregational song, We Gather in the Sanctuary, offering sacrifice of praise, we join with angels? Congregational song, We Gather in the Sanctuary, offering the sacrifice of praise, we join the angels. That does not ring a bell with me, Sunny D. I'd have to look that up. Alrighty, so be careful. I have a limit on where I can put things unless I move stuff around. Let's do this. Let's move this here. That gives me a greater range of motion. All right. So Sunny D has requested a song. We Gather in the Sanctuary. Is that the title? If I know the title, I can look it up on YouTube and quickly break into it. Yes, what you see me here doing is I'm playing with my iPad, using it as a transparent scratch pad, which will allow me to write my thoughts down rather than think them. Of course, I've got to get my writing hand back into a good place. So we're going to look at We Gather in the Sanctuary. Let me mute this so that it doesn't get across. And let me mute me so I can listen to it and see what I got. Okay, I was just writing out verbally in my head as the song was playing what patterns did I hear. I've got the Dina Watley version of the song We Gather, and I had this. I'm used to sanctuary being spelled a different way. I'm looking at it, going, "Wasn't there a C in there somewhere?" But that's what it says on the Yeah, that's what it says on the YouTube video. So there's my pattern. 1, 4, 1, 5, 6, a 2 major, and then a 5, and then back to the 1. So that's the pattern that I was able to hear from the song so far. It's got a, I'll say a Caribbean beat to it, for lack of a better designated. It's not Western beat. It's not, it's not a westernized beat that has the 2/4 clap, but it has got the Caribbean nature. We gather in the sanctuary. Let's switch to here. We'll leave that right there. That was the pattern. Oh. No, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5. Still learning this number system thing. I'd rather listen to the song and feel what I can sense. So I'm going on mute, and I'm going to play along with the YouTube video. Be right back. So I have 60% of the chords of the first part. There's one change that there's in there. Back into just a chord change in there. Is that an A G7? Go back and listen to it again, make sure I got the correct. Okay, so it was a change of the bass note. Offering a sacrifice of praise. Because I knew I heard a minor chord in there. Whenever you change the bass note, you change the whole flavor of a chord. It wasn't here, but if you go to here, just by changing one note, let me go back to, because I can't see the live stream because my iPad is occupied. Who joined? T Drum, how are you? Sunny D, yes, that's the one. Okay, Evangelist Franklin, welcome. If you have time, can you play God Has Got a Blessing by Norman Hutchinson? Seem to remember doing a video of that one. I have to go back and look at it. So we're at the. We've done two portions of the song. The very beginning of the song, which has got the 1 4 1. Then it comes back with the 5 to the 6 to the 2 to the 5. Then back to the 1 to this chord. Then back to the 5. So now there is the next part, which I just heard coming up. So let me listen to that next part, and then we'll move on from there. Go on mute so I can listen. Whew, this song has got 4 changes in it. So the third change to the 4. To 6 to the 2, just like the first part, but it's just a little rhythmic. And there's that minor. Once you've got the chording that they have in the song, and each time I play with it, I'm looking to see where where are they repeating the chords. They are utilizing the same chords, they're just positioning the chords around a different set of lyrics and a different set of voicings from the singers. But it's the same chords, they're just being repositioned. We're on to the last part, so let's go mute so I can listen to it. All right, so that's the entire song. They're just repeating the first part. So the 1, 4, 1, 6, 2, 5, 1, 4. I'm gonna call this a 3 because of where the bass note is. Back to the 5, to the 1, to the 6, to the 5, on the 5 and the 1. Those are your chords. It's just a matter now of where they're being placed in the context of the song. You can't go wrong or go lost as long as you keep those chords placed, which where the voicings change. When you listen to the video, you will see all those chords they'll mesh right there together. And I didn't try to gospelize it either. I tried to keep it to where the actual recording is. That's the best way to really learn any song. Learn what the originator put before you start trying to change it up. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Song is, it's fine the way it is. It's fine the way it is. Don't do that. All right. Have you done Pass Me Not already? Yes, I thought I did Pass Me Not as a tutorial. I thought I did that. I maybe need to go back to one of the live streams. Hold on, let me look and see if I wrote it on my list. I'm reading back on my list. Because I remember doing something in G, which is where Pass Me Not, O Gentle Savior is kept. Okay, it's not on my list, but if I did it on a live and you brought it up on the live, then it got put onto the live this month, I believe. But let me look at Evangelist Franklin. Can you play God's Got a Blessing by Norman Hutchins. God's Got a Blessing. God's Got a Blessing. His songs have a particular Pentecostal movement to them. I'll have to pull it up. to pull it up. Let me go on mute. In fact, let me do this so I can still play with. So we covered this one. And now we're going to look at, for Evangelist Franklin, God's Got a Blessing. Is that right? What's that? Gotta find it. God's Got a Blessing by Norman Hudson. God's possibly got a blessing. Rope that down and bring it down. Get everybody. Thank you. So let's, hey, stay there. One, two, three. Going on mute so I can see what key it's in. Okay, just listening to the song, as you see, I am scripting out what I would generally do in my head whenever I'm going to a song that is not already in my wheelhouse. Key of E major is where this song is located in. Not that it's a difficult key, but it requires one that requires a lot of thought, and they are using R&B chords. Along with a pattern of 2, 5, I'm sorry, 2, what did I put there? 2, nope. 2, 3, 5. 2, 3, 5, 6. That's what that should be. That's not a 5, but that's a 3. Take that out. So that's the pattern, the bass pattern, along with the chords. And the chords, without the 7th in it, A flat, 7, B flat, B major 7th, back to the A 7th. So A 7th, B 7th, and an A 7th. They're in the pattern of the 2, 5, 3. Nope, I won't go back there. Better chord. And that would be a an F, flat the 5th, and a 7th. Even I gotta see what this chord looks like. F major flat the 5th. Okay, sounds all right to me. So that's giving us our first set of chords. F7 flat the 5th. No, you can see me write that in. You always want to have the roadmap first before you try to delve into exactly what's happening musically. 7th, flat the 5th. And I use this chord a lot in other songs. All right, change my view screen. No rush on that song. I need to spruce things up in E major. Okay, no problem. I just want to be able. Camera over the way. I just want to be able to give a demonstration of the actual process. The reason why I push so much on melody, scales, or rather chords. Back it up. Scales, then chords, not chords, then scales. Because until I find the key it's in, and then where they're getting their chords from, and what mode are they using? Because this is not traditional gospel. To get that turned around. Just to hear the pattern of the song. So let me go on mute and let's mix these patterns in to make sure you see how accurate my ears are. Going on mute. Okay, without getting too deep into the song, I'm I always expand out the chords into where they could possibly go. I've put down the bass chords, but now I'm expanding to hear the whole gambit. That would be the full extent of this chord, because then they come out. There it is. And these are the chords that you don't learn uh, from anybody on the internet. These are the chords that when you practice scales in every key, you will hear the 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 potential notes being used in a, and I'll call it an urban style song, which is not your, pass me not chords. These chords you wouldn't hear in Pass Me Not, O Gentle Savior, because I practiced these chords in my past and listening to the song and the era of that song. I said, okay, I see where they're going. When they started going all of this, which is those jazz R&B runs. I'm just looking at the whole approach. There it is. They're gonna have to look at it and go, that's where they're gonna go. Evangelist Franklin, yes, this would be something. This may be more of a one-on-one lesson because of the complexity, and these are the complex chords. When you're asked as a musician to learn a song like this, and you haven't passed through the indoctrination of the beginnings of these type of chords, because I have. That's how I can, once I see where they're being what scale they're in, what scale they're using, what style, which is why I put out the R&B style. Those that boom boom boom, that's an R&B style. Was it 2, 3, 6? It's in A major, but they're using that again. What's that? Then I go. That's where they're going. Then I get more comfortable knowing that those are the avenues of chords that I can now bring in. The diminished chords. Now I'm getting more comfortable because I know I'm going from here into a diminished chord, back here, and the diminished chord to bring me down and right to here. It's just a matter now of adding the bass. There it is. If that makes any sense. I'm gonna listen a little more, and then I'm gonna let this song go because this is one of those. This is the one where you see me doing all that writing out. That's when I would do writing out the actual patterns. Let's go back to here. And go on mute so that you don't hear me listening a little more to it. Okay. Those are your patterns. This is your first pattern. I see the pattern. This is the pattern. 2, 3, 6. Very basic. 2, 3, and come out of that. There it is. Okay, you're going to hear this as a way out. Are you get ready to drop here, which is a diminished chord, to another diminished chord, but the bass note is what gives it its chord, because it's going to resolve back into the 2. There it is. So if you're looking at the scales, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2. It's just a matter of what chord is being assigned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then octave 8 or 1 again. So they're applying again chords to support where the song is going. 4, 4, 3, 2, 3, 6, 2, 3, 4, 3, and that's the entire song. It's just the voicing that the choir is using throughout. Yeah, this thing becomes makes a lot more sense when you break it down to who are they borrowing notes from. Style, touch, everything that happens to go with music. Who joined us? Welcome, Robert from North Carolina. Sorry about that. Yes, Evangelist Franklin, those chords will get you through this song. In this case, the bass notes are the lead through the song, but it's supporting the chords that are being put together. But you have to have that pop. That's the other chord that I gave you the first time, which again tends to support. I might be moving that to, no, don't do that. Watch the video. I show you the chord names in the E major. That's how your ear builds. It builds by going into the keys that the song was originally written into. Then if you want to change the key, a lot easier, because now your ears will be trained to one key, and the minute you go to you transpose down manually the correct way into the next key, all of a sudden you go, oh, wait a minute, I know all these chords, because I can hear them in their notes. If you go down to the E flat, you'll be able to fly through E flat without a problem. But first, learn the song in E major. All right, back to having some fun here. I just charged up my pen. So what am I doing with this pen? Let's switch to the proposed page. This is what I'm going to be doing with this pen in this setting right here. We're going to be looking at how we build chords and how it's required for you to be able to know where chords come from. As you can see, we've got the circle of fives there, which is our theory behind chords and their placements. Now there are a lot of different triangles where they show where you can draw a triangle and then you base your chords from that. But I want to use this where we look at not just the major chords, but how we build our chords off the major chords. You're getting a preview. If we put out major right here, what I want to be able to show is where you will look at a major chord. Okay, we're in E flat. We can use this one. That's the major chord in E major. 3 notes. How major chords are the root, third, and the fifth. That's in any key. That's how a major chord is built. If we want to go minor, we're going to have to raise, or in a sense, lower the third to a flat. And that's going to give us our minor chord, no matter what key you're in. Now I got to move this down again. There we go. And that's going to be for any key. Major, lower the third, minor. 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 No matter what key you're in, wherever your root starts, 5 notes from that scale, major, lower the third, minor. So that's going to be a standard rule. But from that major, you have different directions you can go in. If you go to the left, you're going to go to the 7th. So if you've got your, still in E, the 7th note is here, that becomes now an E major 7th. You go in the other direction, and we'll go as far out as the 7th chord of the scale. 7th in that direction. So in either 2 directions of that major scale, either lower 1 or up 7, that's always going to give you that chord. It'll be a major 7th in whatever key you're in. What am I in E? There we go. No matter what key you're in, that process will be the same. Now, why do you want to know that process? You want to know what it sounds like. Just as when I was listening to that song, I could hear the 7th in that opening chord. There's my 7th chord. There's my 7th chord. But I didn't hear it in that chord. Now here, chordy don't know what to call that. So we'll add this to finish off the chord. Now it can tell me it's from the F family, what we're flatting, the 5th note. Now, do we flat the 5th note? Well, yes, we can. We can also flat the 5th note to give us another sounding F major flat 5. But by itself, it sounds empty. But you add that other note to it, all of a sudden now the tone changes and it becomes a new name because, actually we're not in F major, so we're still in E. Let's go. There we go. E major, because it's the same process, the same rule, the theory stays in place. If you flat the 5th note, 1, 3, 5, flat that 5th note, you know what? You can make a good sound with this chord, because you will find this chord is used in a lot of gospel songs. When you add the continuing note, all the different inversions, because you've got 4 notes, you have 4 inversions, but it supports another key. But it doesn't sound good when it's being used in E major, unless of course you are using it to support another chord progression. But the idea is to be able to know the process for building chords. When I go back to playing the basic chords in the key of C, do I need to spend 1 month in that key, or you might be able to get a better understanding in all my keys? What would I say? Is it on this page? Should be this page, right? Are you forward page? This is where you should go if you want to be able to become comfortable at playing chords. See how many chord charts I have here? Major, minor, and a full selection of multiple chords and different chord changes. If you stay just in C, you'll become proficient in C. You want to go to all of them. So rather than spend a month in C, set up a schedule where you are giving time to all of these chords, because when you start playing songs, you will find that all of these chords are interchangeable. Just as with when I was playing this minor chord right here, it's in E major, but the minute you do this, it doesn't sound like it belongs in E major. It doesn't, but it's useful up in A flat. Now it makes sense. And it's heard a lot in gospel music. But just if you just practice this, you're going to get bored, because you will have nothing to associate it with until you apply or practice that in every key. Let me see. The next one would be, is that right? Yeah. And this would be, there we go. This would be like that. There we go, there we go, there we go. Because you're going to find that all of these chords are interchangeable in the process of either being a passing tone or a leading tone to another chord. Again, when you do the more notes I add, the more I can look at the chord and float it around the keyboard in every key, and then find a song that I can attach that chord to, either as a support, which means supporting the melody line, or a passing tone, a way to lead from one chord to the next. This leads to here. There's my pushing of, there's my scale, right down to the A flat. In the A flat scale, but using this tone from E major, it helps me get to land right there. Learn them all. Don't just learn just C. My chord build, this chart is available on the internet. You just do a search for piano chord chart. Hundreds of charts will show up. This is just one that I picked that gave me the broadest amount of information about chords on it. But that's where you go. You immerse yourself. It's not a month thing. It is a lifetime thing. It's a complete journey, so that anytime you want to circle back to something you may have passed, you won't get You won't be locked into, say, being just in the key of C, but you invite the whole family of chords in. This is the family, and this is not the full family of chords. This is basically just right hand. This is to include the left hand. When you add the left hand, that's other whole family of chords and chord designations that will be invited in. Oh, in every key, I did that in my workbook. You should spend no more than, let me bring up the workbook because that's always been my reference for musicians looking to become more comfortable. Let's find a page I can bring it up in. Can I bring it? Looking for an empty page. I can bring up the workbook because I have it spelled out. If you didn't ask for a copy of it. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. We'll bring up the workbook in this page. I give a guide, a reference, a way to, for those who have not found a path in which they can use to practice effectively, because it is not a 2 or 3 hour thing every day, as some might suggest. Oh, you got to throw your whole life into it. No, you're supposed to live your life. What you do is you give me a chance to open this up because I give a detailed suggestion as to how you can practice. Okay. This is my workbook that I created back in 2011, so it's old, but the information is still relative. Page 8, I believe, talks about practicing. Page 8, I wrote the book. Oh, this is something that's new. Oh, there we go. Something is happening with my mouse. Let's not look at what's on the left. Let's concentrate on what's on the right. And okay. Welcome, Jeff. So, how should you practice? You won't see hours on anything I say that you should do. Let me just bring this out a little bit bigger. Number 1, pray, because you want to be in the right frame of mind. Well, before you even pray, turn off your cell phone so that you're not interrupted. Pray, get involved. 2, start with fingering in every key. Duration 5 to 10 minutes. Now, by every key is exactly what it says, in every key. How else will you hear notes in every key if you don't practice in every key? Let me just I want to adjust this window so I can show the keyboard. Of course, to tell someone to do something and not show them how to do it is disingenuous. What good is it me to tell you to do something and I don't continue to do it as well? Alrighty. That's a better way to look at it. What is every key? That is every key. And as you can see, that didn't take me long. It's when you extend it out to 2 octaves and back. Forgot where I was. It was just in E. And as you can see, this is not taking long. If you use the correct fingering, like I should be doing, you will fall in the correct notes. Correct fingering, please. A major. And we'll stop on B because we've already done C already. That is practicing 5 to 10 minutes scale fingering in every key. And yes, left hand also. 2 octaves. I wouldn't tell you to do something that I have not done in my younger days and should still be doing it as I have reached the age of 68 and still should be fluid doing it, which means I should be able to hit every note in rhythm and not be hesitating or falling on the wrong keys or holding a conversation like I'm doing right now. I gotta get through this. Yes, the keys are getting stiff now. But this is exercise. When you're lifting up weights, this is lifting weights. B flat. And B major. And it still is not 5 minutes. Whew. And yes, both hands. Let them get into a race to see who can hit the notes correctly. And if you mess up, go back and correct it. B major, B flat, and B major. First 5 to 10 minutes. Next, practice your triad inversions in every key, which is what we were talking about. Triads, 1, 2, 3, in every key. Major triad. Again, this is training your muscle memory. Some say a triad should be the first, third, and the 5th finger. I wasn't taught by a piano teacher, but I'll go along with what they say, except if you want to do octave chords, you can't do that if you're tied up your pinky playing the 5th note. So I do the 3rd note. Why? So I can do octaves and roll them. That's just a triad. Now, does your left hand have to do chords? Yes. How else do you train that to be able to play a chord that you want to play on your left hand? No need to go up so many octaves, just enough in the range of where your left hand. And get down in the mud too. Your left hand needs to be trained. Both hands, of course. And make it fun. Next, what did I say? 10 minutes? Practice chord progressions and transition chords in C, D, D flat, E flat for 10 minutes. Now, these should be chords, progressions that you normally use. If you do the 2-5-1 progression, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 2, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, and 2, G, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5. Now, I should have done that chromatically, but you get the idea. You want to become so fluent. Oh, I did say chromatic, didn't I? E flat. So fluid that it's second nature to you. You know what, when you think of a chord, a 2-5-1 progression, and automatically your hands will form that chord in whatever key you happen to be in. Take a break, get some water. But my bottle's almost empty, so I'm good. And give your fingers a chance to rest. Moving on. Practice the melody line with left-hand chords to a familiar song. I suggest a hymn that you like to play or a praise song. Now, whatever song is your best, you start with that. If there's a certain hymn that is your best hymn to play, if there's a certain praise song, what you're doing is putting to practice all those scales you practice and all those chords. Because if we're in the key of C, and let me change my chordy app from E major to C. Come on, chordy app. Come on. There you go. I know it's a lot, but once you get into the practice of doing it, you'll be adding to it. Key of C is now, our chordy app is set to the key of C. If you wanted to pick the song Baby Shark, if that's what you like to play, pull that up, put some chords with it. Now I'm adding to it, but that is the intent. You want to be able to hear a melody in a scale, so you need more notes that you can play. Let's go with The Reason Why I Sing. You see the left hand is forming chords. Kind of a rough example, but the idea is to, every time you sit down to the keyboard, you are training your hands and your ears and your eyes at the same time. Because if you had to change keys, chord. B, minor, A, D major. All these keys are right there. And that's why the 2-5-1 is important, because that helps lead you to chords, to songs. And you just continually put your mind in the spirit of practice. The only time you shouldn't be practicing is Sunday morning or when you're in a church service. That's when all the practice is supposed to come out. Continuing, select 3 congregational, preacher chords. That's right. Oh, that's right. Now that you're warmed up, you can tackle more advanced practice. So none of this has been advanced. This has been in preparation to get to the advance. And although I did take along with that song, that should have just been one time through. So we got 10, 30 minutes, water break, 35 minutes. So now we're into minute 40. We're not even an hour yet. 3 congregational songs normally sang at your church. Play them in the key they sing them in, using techniques practiced from the above course. So if they sing, "We bring the sacrifice of praise," and we 2-5-1. And you should be able to fly through those 3 songs that you would normally play, which are the standards for the church where you are currently ministering in. If not in church, then there are plenty of praise songs out there, not just the ones of my era, but of this era you can go to. Next. If you play for a choir praise team, begin practicing the songs they will sing. Okay, this is in your preparation. And then take another break, answer your cell phone, update your Facebook. This is 2011 when this was written. So a lot has changed, especially in the world of Facebook. A lot has changed. Oh, look at that. Got that still on my face. Well, that's because that's how this is. Let's see if we can move that. No, didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this. There we go. But this is how I think when I'm playing chords. I am figuring out where am I in the span of the chords. What are the major? What are the minor? Actually, I think I was doing augmented when I saw your question. That's the augmented chords, flat to fifth. In here we have 6 chords, the 6 chords, right? Those are the jazz chords in the 6s. Here we have augmented B, flat chord. There's a minor. Yeah, we have the minor 7th chord. We're in this thing a lot. We've got the minor 6 chords. Running out of space there. Flat minors, the augmented 7th, 6s. Diminished chords are in this family here. So the diminished chords is when you're flatting the 3rd, the 5th, and you're adding a 6th. So yes, the diminished chords are right there. So all these chords are going through my mind whenever I'm thinking, what sound do I want to hear? Let's switch to or back to page that's being designated to this. Okay, now we can move everybody back. There we go. Look at all these options that one has when you're playing. Do I want to play a major chord? Do I want to play a minor chord? Do I want to play a diminished chord? Do I want to play a seventh chord? Do I want to play a minor seventh chord? Do I want to play a sixth chord? A seventh chord, right? Yeah, C7 chord. Did I leave that up? Yeah, that's the seventh chord. Minor 7 covered, minor 6 we covered. Okay, but I'm going the other way. That's the other way for the 7th chord. Minor chord, augmented, diminished chord we covered. There's my augmented chord by sharpening the 5th. All these chords are in a family. That is the major scale family. The minute you add another note out of that family, those become, to me, cousins. Those are the sevenths, the augments, the diminish, the minor. They help to change the tone of the family, of the major family. That's a happy set of chords right there. But the minute you change one note, now we become unhappy. But it's a different sound, which in gospel music becomes an actual, well, I'll use the word conundrum, because you now decide how you want to use it. Do you want to use it in to get across a real strong feeling that minor, like this, that's a determined chord. That's what that minor tone gives you, which helps you get that oomph. Who has that chord? What song can I pull? Call them up. That's what the minor chord does. And when you know that that is an option for you, or if you hear that chord in a song, all of a sudden you look for everything or chords that are associated with that minor chord. Diminished and minors go together like peanut butter and jelly. And once you understand that, when you hear it being used, what can I put with that? A diminish, go back to a minor 6, to a 7. We can throw in a major and another 7 and a diminished to give us a little pretense or tense, or the tense word, yeah, pretense, and back to the minor. But to get out of it, the circle of 5s to the major. And that's what that circle is there for, to give you the out route. G to C, F to B flat. Actually, that's the 4th. Yeah, G to C, D to A, E to C to G, I always go in the opposite direction. G to A to E to F sharp, F sharp to C sharp, C sharp to A flat, or G sharp to E flat, to B flat major, to F. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, G. Yeah. I go in the opposite direction. I never follow that. I go the backward path. C, F, B flat, E flat, chord wise, as an out to get me out of one section of chords and back to the root. But this is how in depth theory is. It's more than just the 1, the 4, there's 5 rather, the 4 and the 5. When you see me learn a song and I can hear every note that's in that song while I'm listening to it, and then I go to the piano and I see, am I correct or am I relatively in the correct place? Take a note away, add a note there, change a progression here. All of a sudden now I can now hear the chords of that song because I keep repeating it. But because I practiced all the chords, all the notes, and all these different things, I cut my learning time down to minutes rather than hours or days. Thank you for spending all this time with me and allowing me to try some new concepts. This is going to be fun for me here doing this. In fact, I wonder if I can do this. I can move it, but I want to see if I can shrink it. Okay, this program I'm using doesn't allow me to shrink this. But let's do this. Because this is not the lesson. This is just showing you what I have coming up. Wipe the slate clean. Sam Tobit, Sound of Joy Music Services. I want to acknowledge those who have come in and spent some time with me. For those who are watching the replay, this is the type of fun that I like to have when I do a live. Yes, I did do a viewer request. I'll put that timestamp in it, but I also will timestamp some of the other things that I'm doing so that you can jump through the hour and 48 minutes that I've been here. Tristone, thank you for coming in. Sub-Zero, Sunny D, thank you. Evangelist Franklin, T Drums, Robert Holder, just thanking those who have come in. Jeff, and spent some time with me. If you do see the replay, oh, you're welcome. If you do see the replay, then feel free to post in the comment section if you have any questions over what I'm covering. As I say, I'm still in developing the course that I'll be using the iPad for with the ability to write. If I learn how to write, there we go. I want to thank you all for coming in, spending some time with me. It's always good G-O-D to have company. I'm gonna work on my penmanship. Welcome, Hezekiah. Yes, you're kind of late, so you're gonna have to catch up with the get out of the way with the replay. Put you right there. But I had fun doing this, and looking to have more fun as I take advantage of the things that iPads give you. I've had this iPad now for about 4 years and never investigated all the things that I wanted to do with it other than Netflix and running some of the simulated software. I actually do have the, I should be able to show that here. Let me do that. What page did I do that on? This page. I do have the Hammond B4 software on here. I would have to really shorten this down to open that up. So I can run my simulated Hammond organ via my iPad through a keyboard. Strangely enough, this does not open up all the way. You can't hear it. What else do I have on here? I'm going to investigate putting on it's my beat maker. Surprised it's not giving me a full page. But I have other things I want to be able to use this iPad for. As you can see, I use technology as a tool. But I want to thank you all once again for spending this time with me. Do you do these live sessions at a set time, or are they random when you have availability? I want to join more now. They are random. I'm looking at doing viewer requests maybe once a week. I'm trying to debate on Friday evening or Saturday morning, depending upon what time zone I can get the largest amount of people to come in and watch. That's always going to be the greatest concern. But I find that I get a lot of viewership on the replay also. So it may be something where I'll do a post maybe 2 weeks in advance and find out what's a good time based upon what country you're in, if you want to be a part, what time zone you are, if you're in the United States, and what will be covered. I try to get the viewer requests done within a week's time because as you can see, I still have series going on. So when I do a viewer request, that takes me away from my series. Are you in the UK? So that puts you. I had a student from the UK. We had to do our lessons at 10 p.m., which was 8 p.m. 8 a.m. his time. We'll figure it out. If you don't catch me live, which you caught me live today because, let me see, I got up early. I had to take the granddaughter to school. And I said, well, I'm not going back to sleep. Even if I'm tired, let me just get back into what I was working on at 1 a.m. in the morning. So you could always leave a comment on any of my videos that if you plan a live stream, what hours are good for you? Or you can go into I believe you can post. Yeah, you can leave a comment on my post. I'll post a picture and something in the post section where you can leave a comment as to what would be a good hour for whoever comes in and wants to be a part of an actual live session. And I can see the comments from the post section. This way you can, I'll be sure to see it because it'll always be in the post section. And that goes for everyone else. Hezekiah, I left your name out. Sorry about that. You just came in. I will always keep a look on the comment section. Give me a chance to word it correctly and maybe even post the type of things I want to be doing. Usually it's going to be a viewer request and live request, or it can be, well, I like to keep the viewer requests separate. Well, we'll see. As I say, we're still new into the year of 2024. We're just getting through, or coming to near the end of the month of May. So we still have 7 more months of 2024. Goodness, there's so much going on. But I'd like to be an actual musical oasis to take you away from whatever it is that's happening in your locale. If I can do that with music or with instruction, that's what I mean to do. I usually like to end with a song, one that won't be offensive to the YouTube algorithm. So let's see. Let's change to This page maybe. No, go to the main page. What song won't offend the YouTube algorithm, and what key can I go to? Again, this is all a part of what happens in my, yes, Hezekiah, I'm Eastern Standard Time. I gotta think of the key. Well, I'll keep it to C, this way I can go to any key. Let's let the African American Heritage Hymnal decide for us. Just as you can see, I'll just let it just thumb through some pages, and wherever my fingers stop, I'll play what's there. Ah, Victory in Jesus, key of G. I like that song. Switch to the key of G. I heard an old story, how a Savior came from glory, how he gave his life on Calvary to save a wretch like me. I heard about his groaning, of his precious blood's atoning. Then I repented of my sins and won the victory. Yeah, I do love that song. Not love it. It's on my list of songs that I like to play. Always don't have an opening, and then hearing my keys I want to use. Let's change our piano. I want a beat. Gonna change the song. I got the victory. I gotta go pick up somebody from school. Thank you all for spending some time with Sam Tobin, Sound of Joy Music Services. Take care now.